You are Locked On Marlins POSTCAST, part of Locked On Sports Miami on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
What is up, Fish fans, and what a win tonight. The Marlins walk it off again for the fifth time this season. They tie the Baltimore Orioles for the most in the major leagues. 5 walk-off wins. This team has won 16 games all year. Literally just about one of every 3 games is a walk-off win for the Miami Marlins. What is up, Fish fans? My name is Jim Grieshaber. Call me Grease. We are here on your Monday evening as the Marlins get this 3-game series against the first place Milwaukee Brewers off to a good start with a beautiful victory, 3-2 in the MIA. Yeah, the offense hasn't been good. Yes, Ryan Weathers was very good again, starting this game on the mound for the Marlins, and that was something they hadn't gotten over the last couple of games, was an outstanding outing from their starting pitcher. They got it today from Weathers. Will they get it tomorrow from Trevor Rogers for the second time in a row? We don't know, but we do know that we got it from Weathers tonight, and he was fantastic in 7 innings, allowing 2 runs, and I'll get to how it all happened throughout the show here, and some crazy things happening in this game tonight in the MIA. But first, I want to thank you very much for being here and for making your Locked On Marlins postcast your first listen every day. We're free, available wherever you get your podcasts, Spotify, Apple Music, iHeart, and of course, right here at Locked On Sports Miami on YouTube, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. As I mentioned, I am Jim Grieshaber. Call me Grease. I just wish my lights would be as bright on me from your perspective as they are on me from my perspective. Literally surrounded like a SWAT team here at the crib and the home studio. But it's dope when the Marlins win the way that they did. The bell tolls. Marlins walk it off in Miami. And that is right. They've won 6 of their last 8 games, right? Go figure, the Marlins, and they have been fantastic, right? They took 2 out of 3 from Detroit. They took 2 out of 3 from the Mets, and you thought they were going to sweep that series. And then here they are opening it up against the first place Milwaukee Brewers with a nice win at home today. And, you know, when you talk about this win and when you're thinking about what the Marlins were able to do in this game, they were so quiet offensively. They didn't score a run until the 7th inning. Joe Ross, the Brewers starter, leaves this game early. He leaves this game early, Joe Ross does, with back tightness, and then the bullpen just kind of takes over from there, which is interesting when you talk about the Brewers bullpen just going, you know, from the first inning on all night tonight with their bullpen. Trying to find it on the box here. I don't understand what they do at MLB.com with their box, but it doesn't include the pitching lines apparently, but I've got it here on my backup. And for the Brewers, I mean, Rush just pitched 1 inning, and then you have Cohen goes 2 2/3, and Pamps and Milner and Peguero and Hudson, and they just literally were lights out all night long, their bullpen. But in the 7th inning, and how about a nice little inning of chance for the Miami Marlins in the 7th, and it was just one of those innings, luckily for them, where they caught a couple of breaks and the ball bounced their way a little bit, and they had been threatening to score big. They had been threatening to bust this game open 7th, 8th, 9th into the 10th innings, and kind of like reminiscent of a couple of days ago against the Mets, right? When they did it on Saturday, they overcame a 5-run deficit, right? Or a 4-run deficit. Edwin Diaz, the Mets closer, and they talked about the Mets demoting him and he wouldn't be the closer anymore because of what happened against the Marlins. Well, they did the same tonight against Trevor Megill for the Brewers. But before I get to that, in the bottom of the 7th inning, Nick Gordon singles to left field off the glove of the diving third baseman Ortiz. And what happened there was just a nice piece of hitting by Nick Gordon. That ball really should have been through. And the Marlins caught a couple of breaks late in this game that helped them win it 3-2. Not, with relation to the walk-off or with regard to the walk-off in the bottom of the 10th inning. We'll get to that in a minute. But tying this game on a couple of bloopers with the outfield back and playing no doubles defense, part of it, the ball getting stuck under the wall in right field when the Brewers were hitting and trying to add an insurance run late in the game. That didn't help any for Milwaukee. It helped the Marlins a lot. And in the 7th inning, when Gordon singles to left, the ball nicks off the glove of the third baseman Ortiz, which allows Josh Bell to score. If that ball doesn't nick off the glove, if he's not so quick and so agile, making a great play to get over there and even get the glove on it, then that run probably doesn't score for the Marlins. And, it had been 2-0 for most of the game. before that, it was the home run for the Brewers early in the game. And, that was it seems like so long ago when Monasterio hit that home run off Weathers. The second run for Milwaukee was infuriating as a baseball fan. As someone sitting there watching the Marlins, you love this team, and you're just infuriated that Christian Yelich what did he do? Christian Yelich just walked, right? And when he walked, he took second base. Christian Yelich did when the Brewers added that second run, and it was literally something that disgusted you as a baseball fan because he stole home plate because the Marlins weren't paying attention, and it was not a good inning for Fortes, the catcher for the Marlins, right? Because Christian Yelich walks with 2 outs, right? Ortiz walks, Yelich walks, right? And Yelich steals second base, and as Yelich is on third base, Yelich steals home. Yelich walks, then Ortiz walks after Yelich steals second, okay? Yelich gets to third, moves to third on a strikeout, and he struck out the side that inning. Weathers did for Miami, and that pulling the string on the changeup, he's been fantastic. Man, he's only 24, working with Mel Stottlemyre Jr., and this kid's unbelievable. But Weathers is on the bump, and he gives up the walk, the stolen base, and then Yelich he steals home because Fortes, the catcher, wasn't paying attention, literally threw it back to Weathers as Yelich was running home, not paying attention at all. Same thing Chisholm was trying to do to the Mets and steal second yesterday, and he got caught. He got caught against Diekman, and same thing here, except Yelich didn't get caught, and he stole home. And that was infuriating because that gave them, at the time, the 2-run lead, and you thought, man, the Marlins are in trouble. Now, in the 7th inning, you have Gordon singles to left, Bell scores, Burgers at third, and then Lopez grounds into the double play, and Burger stranded at third, and so they don't score another run there, and you're thinking, man, they could have tied this one up pretty easily. Good job by the Marlins in the top of the 8th, just get the Brewers in order there. Then the bottom of the 8th, man, it was crazy because the Marlins get the single. Brujan starts it off with a single. Myers is hit by a pitch, and then you have Chisholm, De La Cruz, and Bell, 1, 2, 3 in your lineup. First and second, nobody out, 1, 2, 3 in your lineup. Again, let me repeat, first and second and third in your lineup. Nobody out. Runners on first and second. Nobody out. 1, 2, 3 in your lineup. And they're unable to get anything done. Sometimes it just happens in baseball, and that was really unfortunate because you're thinking in a 2-1 game where they just had a runner on third the previous inning and they hit into a double play to end that inning. Then you got first and second with nobody out, and Chisholm strikes out, De La Cruz strikes out, and Bell pops out. So not even a ball to the outfield in that situation. First, second, and third in your order with runners on first, second, nobody out in a 2-1 game. Infuriating. You can see why I don't have hair. I'm a lifelong sports fan, right? And then the Brewers in the top of the 9th, and I thought it was great. Nardi comes in and gets Contreras in that situation because Bowers hits the ground rule double. Monasterio goes to third, but that was the ball that got stuck underneath the wall, and Sanchez had the presence of mind to go like that. That was another big break. The ball hitting the glove of the third baseman Ortiz off the bat of Gordon that scored Bell in the 7th, and then the ball going underneath the wall in the top of the 9th, and the Brewers did not add that extra run. They did not add that extra run, which allowed the Marlins in the bottom of the 9th inning, right? In the bottom of the 9th inning with Megill on the mound, the Marlins are able to tie the game. Lopez singles to right. Gordon scores. Now, Lopez with a bloop single, Gordon with a bloop single. And the reason that both those balls fell in, no doubles defense. Another break for the Marlins. They tie the game at 2-2 in the 9th. In the 10th inning, Tanner Scott gets the job done after Yelich walked, and then Ortiz sacrificed him to second. And then Sanchez lines out to center after Adame struck out swinging. So good job by Tanner Scott there. The Marlins bullpen, fantastic again tonight. Ryan Weathers was great. Gave up the home run, and then really I'd call it a boneheaded play by Fortes, and then he got run over at the plate. Fortes did by that runner too. So it kind of came back on him a little bit too. When that throw came in to try to get Yelich, they ran Fortes over at the dish. But then the bottom of the 10th in a 2-2 game, Bethancourt fouls out to the catcher, but then it wasn't a foul out to the catcher. It was a sacrifice bunt. It was a little one hopper out in front of the dish with a beautiful 2-strike bunt by Bethancourt, and he's been offensively very good lately. So Bethancourt with a little one hopper out in front of the dish. They intentionally walk Chisholm. He steals second because remember, Brujan had already gone to third. They start the inning with a runner on second. Remember, in extra innings in Major League Baseball, another thing they're doing to speed the game along, right? So De La Cruz gets intentionally walked. DLC is on first. Chisholm Jr. is on second. And Brujan is on third. And what happens? For whom the bell tolls, for whom the bell tolls. A little Metallica there for you. But yeah, for whom the bell tolls, yeah, it was Josh Bell. He singles to right, Brujan scores, and the game is over. Just like that, the Marlins win 3-2 in 10 innings. It is their 5th walk-off win of the season, tying the Baltimore Orioles for the Major League lead. This team's only won 16 games. And I'll give you one more thing before we hit the break, and we'll come back on the other side. But before we do, I'll give you one more nugget. The Denver Nuggets are gone. They beat Miami to win the championship last year, but the Nuggets are gone. The Nuggets are gone. Anthony Edwards and Cat and the Minnesota Timberwolves dispatched them last night. But I'll give you one more thing before we go. Yes, the Marlins have won, and they walked it off for the 5th time, tying the Orioles for the Major League lead. Yes, it's one of their 16 wins of the season, so almost 1 out of every 3 wins has been a walk-off win for your Florida Marlins. But even deeper than that, we go on your Locked On Marlins postcast and let you know that all 5 of those walk-off comeback wins have come in less than 3 weeks. They began on April 30th. How do you like those numbers? Right here on your Locked On Marlins postcast. I'm Jim Grieshaber. Call me Grease when we continue in just a moment. I'm not going anywhere. None of us are. But I am going to do a commercial and pay our bills, probably 2 commercials in this break. And we will continue with your Locked On Marlins postcast. Weather's been steady. Will Trevor Rogers keep it up tomorrow? That's coming later in the show. We take a look at game 2 of this series. But when we come back, what can the Marlins do to get their offense going before the 7th inning? I'll have that answer next. I hope you do too. Right here, Locked On Marlins postcast. But oh, do I need to tell you about my friends at Policy Genius. 2 words for you, Fish fans: life insurance. It is life insurance. And Policy Genius is 1 word. We've already told you. We're going to change it in the dictionary. Policy Genius. They're that good. It's going to be changed in the dictionary. And if it isn't, we'll petition. We'll pick it. We'll get the names, the list, the signatures, everything we need on the petition to make it happen, because Policy Genius is changing the world. They are the country's leading online insurance marketplace, saving you time and money so you can provide your family with financial safety and security. That's safety net starting today. With Policy Genius, you can find life insurance policies that start at just $292 per year for $1 million in coverage. Some options offer same-day approval and avoid unnecessary medical exams as well. And I will tell you what, it's convenient and it's time-saving. Policy Genius helps you compare your options from top companies, and their team of licensed experts is on hand to help you through it all. Policy Genius has a team of award-winning agents who will walk you through the process step by step. Can easily compare quotes from America's top insurers in just a few clicks to find your lowest price. That's right, your lowest price with Policy Genius. Your work life insurance policy may not offer enough protection for your family's needs. Even worse, it may not come with you if you leave your job. You always want to know about that. The peace of mind is everything with Policy Genius and life insurance. They give you unbiased advice from licensed expert support team. Policy Genius has no incentives to their agents and experts to recommend one insurer over another, so you can trust their guidance. Very important in today's world. Thousands of 5-star reviews on Google and Trustpilot from customers who found the best fit for their needs. That's why Policy Genius is trustworthy. So if I haven't given you enough reasons already, which obviously I have, I don't know what else I can do other than to tell you to check life insurance off your to-do list. Check it off in no time with Policy Genius. Head to policygenius.com/lockedonmlb or click the link in the description to get your free life insurance quotes and see how much you could save. That's policygenius.com/lockedonmlb. Getting so quick with the production skills here. So quick with the show and everything we have going on here. Just call me the octopus. I'm like a wizard in here. Yahoo Finance is a proud sponsor of your Locked On Marlins postcast, though I can tell you that, and I would ask you, my friend, wouldn't it be great if you could see all of your investment and retirement accounts in one place? Well, it just so happens with Yahoo Finance, you can consolidate your views from multiple accounts into one hub and access the expert analysis that you need to tend to your entire portfolio with confidence. Let's get straight to the point. You want to grow your portfolio to deal with the rising cost of inflation, to pay off your debt or your mortgage, pretty much anything standing in the way of you and financial freedom, right? Well, with Yahoo Finance, you can get access to the news, data, and tools that you need in order to help reach that financial freedom, and you can do it right now. When it comes to your financial future, you think you've done it all. You've saved, you've researched, you've invested all that you can. Now, you need to take those investments to the next level by using what every financial great uses, Yahoo Finance. For more than 25 years, Yahoo Finance has been the brand. You hearing me? Yahoo Finance has been the brand behind every great investor for 25 years. Whether you're a seasoned investor or are looking for that extra guidance, Yahoo Finance gives you all the tools you need and data you need in one place. They're the #1 finance destination, producing a holistic look at the financial news cycle, including breaking news, original editorial perspectives, analyst ratings, independent research, customizable charts, and so much more. That is right. Yahoo Finance, as the level peaks here. We don't want the level to peak too much because that would get annoying. Securely link your brokerage accounts for a unified view of your wealth, including 401k and other investments. A comprehensive perspective is what sets apart great investors, and it's how Yahoo Finance ensures you have the insight to look at your wealth. That's right, yours, your wealth in its entirety. With a community of over 90 million users each month, their real strength is helping you on your way to financial success. That's right. For comprehensive financial news and analysis, visit the brand behind every great investor, yahoofinance.com. The #1 financial destination, yahoofinance.com. That's yahoofinance.com. Right here on your Locked On Marlins postcast, a proud sponsor of the show, and I am really excited. Hey, I'm hitting all the production here today. That camera just right there. Come on, baby. Right? Unforgiving, just looking right at me, not moving the whole time, and I'm right here. And it's a lot of fun doing this. It's just, call me the octopus. I already said fingers, arms, everywhere, making it happen. Meanwhile, speaking of making it happen, how about this? You need to make the switch to Locked On Sports today. It's free. It's 24/7. It's a sports streaming channel on YouTube every single day, bringing you the biggest stories without all the screaming. It's also on an Amazon Fire TV channels app. Can't miss analysis, opinions, and news streaming 24/7 on YouTube. And, of course, your free Amazon Fire TV channels app, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day, or every day, however you want to say that. My name is Jim Grieshaber. Call me Grease. You're watching your Locked On Marlins postcast. And how about the Marlins tonight? 3-2 in 10 innings to move to 16-33 on the season. 3-2 in 10 innings to take the series opener over the first place Milwaukee Brewers. 3-2 in 10 innings to win for the 6th time in 8 games. And how about Ryan Weathers? 4 starts in a row for my man. 24 years of age. They got him in the trade with San Diego a year ago, pulling the string on that changeup, working it in, working it out, bringing it up, moving it down, all over that zone, pulling the string. He made one mistake on the changeup, the home run from Monasterio. Other than that, he walks Yelich, gives up the stolen base, and then the steal of home, which is inexcusable. But that's more on the catcher, Fortes, than it is on the pitcher, Weathers, because it was on the throwback to the pitcher. The catcher made the mistake. The stolen base is charged to the pitcher. The runner, Yelich, had timed out Fortes in his throwing the ball back to the mound, waited until Fortes wasn't looking, threw it back and ran. Not on Weathers, on Fortes. Let's make that very, very clear. Weathers has now given us 4 quality starts in a row, 8 innings, 2 hit ball against Detroit last time out. This time, 7 innings, 2 hits, 2 earned runs against the first place Brewers. When you get starting pitching like Ryan Weathers has given you his last 4 times out, really. His last 4 times out. Yeah. Against the Dodgers, 3 earned runs in 6 innings. He gave you the best start of any of the pitchers in that series. Against the Tigers, 8 innings, 3 hits, no runs last time out. Just been fantastic. Ryan Weathers. And you get Trevor Rogers on the bump tomorrow, and He was great his last time out, and you're kind of hoping he can give you a little bit more of the same this time. But Ryan Weathers, man, let's take more of a look at Ryan Weathers these last couple of times out. I mean, he was just fantastic, right? Let's see where we at here with Ryan Weathers. Yeah. So first pitch strikes, 17 of the 27 batters got first pitch strikes from Ryan Weathers. And that's amazing. So he's been great. Cronin was good too. Nardi as well. That bullpen's been solid lately. But Ryan Weathers, right? Recently, Detroit, the Dodgers, Oakland, they lost that game 3-1, but he allowed 3 earned runs in 5 innings there. So Oakland and LA, 5 innings and 6 innings, 3 earned runs each. Not great starts, but quality starts. And then the gem, 8 innings, no runs against the Tigers. Didn't get a decision in that game. And then tonight, 7 innings, 2 hits, 2 earned runs, kept the Marlins in the game. They caught a break when the ball deflected off the glove of the third baseman Ortiz, off the bat of Gordon to score Bell with that first run in the 7th inning. They caught a break in the top of the 9th when the ball got stuck under the wall in right field where the Brewers didn't score that extra run with Montecero coming around the bases, right? Didn't happen there. And a break for the Marlins there. And they also got a break in the 9th inning with the Brewers playing no doubles defense that Gordon and then Lopez could hit back-to-back bloopers that dropped in. And I don't know why they were playing deeper on Lopez in that situation to let a blooper fall in. But that was pretty shallow, that second one. And they had moved him in somewhat for sure. But, man, that was pretty dope. The Marlins got a lot of breaks from the baseball gods today. And, Weathers has been really good, man, 24 years of age. And you were wondering, when the Marlins had some pitchers who were injured and you knew they'd be coming back soon off that IL, which pitcher or pitchers would be the odd one out? And it is not going to be Weathers. And then you've got, obviously, Luzardo. Rogers gave you his first good start last time out. We'll get to him and more on him as we get closer to the the end of the show. The end of the show here today. I'm trying to do 2 things at once, and I'm not always the greatest at that. But I'm trying to keep up with everything that we have going on here at once. All the production, everything there, and make sure I got the screen behind me all done and resaving the thumbnail to the YouTube page right now. Got all the commercials lined up, everything. I mean, we just are killing it here. Locked On Marlins Postcast, which is live right here on YouTube. Locked On Sports Miami. Same with Locked On Marlins podcast, as well as your Locked On Heat, Locked On Dolphins, Locked On Hurricanes, and all those postcasts as well be right here on this channel. And, of course, wherever you listen to your podcast, right? Whether it's Spotify, whether it is Apple Music, or whether it is iHeart, Stitcher, Podbean, wherever you listen to your podcast, you are catching us here. Now, the Marlins walk it off. They win 3-2. It's their 5th walk-off win of the season, tied with the Orioles. There's one difference, though, between the Marlins and the Baltimore Orioles. I hate to be the guy who has to point this out, and I probably shouldn't, and I don't know why I'm going to, but since I've talked myself into this black hole, I'm going to do it right now. No, wait a minute. It won't let me. It's only letting me show the NL East standing. That's why ESPN.com is blocking me from showing the overall standings in Major League Baseball for some reason, and I'm not sure why. Why is that? Not really sure. Oh, well, as long as the Marlins figure out what to do with Sixto Sanchez. That's a tough one for Mel Stoudemire Jr. and that crew there. But the bullpen's been great. Nardi's been really good. Cronin, Bender until last night had a tough outing. But, you're going to get that once in a while. A.J. Puck, Tanner Scott, of course, pretty good with the bullpen. And we'll see if Rogers can keep it going again tomorrow. The Marlins walk it off. Josh Bell with an RBI single in the 10th inning. Wins it for Miami. Tanner Scott gets the win. He's got an ERA of 1.8. He's 4-4 as a closer. Imagine that with that ERA. How many games the Marlins have played into the late innings that are this close? The 6 of 8 that they've won. Yeah, those are all 1- and 2-run games. The Cardiac Kids, the Miami Marlins, have won for the 6th time in 8 games. They take the opener against the Brewers at home. And again, they've been terrific at home as of late. They won that last game against the Phillies and then 2 of 3 against the Mets. So what is that? 3 out of 4, and now 4 out of their last 5 at home, 6 out of their last 8 overall. Great job by the Marlins. When we wrap it up, with your Locked On Marlins postcast coming up right here on the other side of this quick little break. I will talk to you about that game tomorrow, what the Marlins can do to get that offense going, and how Trevor Rogers can replicate his success from his last outing. All that and more to wrap it up on your Locked On Marlins postcast with me, Jim Grieshaber. Call me Grease. And I want to tell you about my friends at LinkedIn and what they have as a sales solution for you. It's called Sales Navigator. Are you struggling to close deals? I mean, we all do every once in a while, right? LinkedIn, if you're struggling to close deals, B2B selling is tougher than ever, and that's why I want to tell you about LinkedIn Sales Navigator. That's right. LinkedIn Sales Navigator is a sales intelligence platform that helps professionals effectively prospect and engage high-value customers, drive higher revenue, and increase sales performance. Sales Navigator helps you target the right buyers, which is so important, right? Surface key signals such as job changes or which accounts you should prioritize, and shows you hidden allies so you can find those buyers that are most likely to convert. That is right. With LinkedIn Sales Navigator, right now you can try LinkedIn Sales Navigation and get a 60-day free trial at linkedin.com/lockedon. That's linkedin.com/lockedon for a 60-day free trial of LinkedIn Sales Navigator. Let LinkedIn Sales Navigator help you sell like a superstar today. Just go to linkedin.com/lockedon to get started with LinkedIn Sales Navigator. All right, there we go. Wrapping it up, Locked On Marlins postcast on your Locked On Sports Miami YouTube, on your Spotify, on your Apple Music, on your iHeart, on your Stitcher, Podbean, wherever you listen to your podcast. I'm Jim Grieshaber. Call me Grease, and the Marlins walked it off tonight in the MIA, and they defeat the Milwaukee Brewers 3-2 in the bottom of the 10th inning. Josh Bell, who's been really hot after a tough start for him, the number 3 hitter in the Marlins lineup, driving in Brujan, and Brujan's been really good lately. Brujan with the nice job keeping that game alive and then circling his way around the bases in the following inning as he started at second base in extra innings, as they do. A nice job by Nick Gordon with the RBI single in the 7th. Then he singles with 2 outs in the 9th, eventually comes around, you know what I mean? So to score the tying run there, Otto Lopez with the bloop hit. So a good job by Gordon. Gordon and Bell coming around. They had been so cold for a long time. So you want to know how this offense keeps going? Look, Arias is killing it in San Diego. He's at 309. He's reached base every game since going to the Padres. He'd be huge right now at the top of the lineup for the Marlins, especially since Chisholm has cooled off these past few games. But with Bell in the 3-hole, with Gordon in the 5-hole, with these guys starting to hit, all you need is for Berger to come around a little bit more. DLC, De La Cruz in that 2-hole, gets on base. He's spraying that ball around. I think Chisholm will be okay in a leadoff spot. You get enough from Fortes and Bethancourt down toward the bottom of the lineup, but you really need Bell and you need Gordon to drive in runs with Berger. The middle of that lineup has got to start producing for the Miami Marlins to have any kind of success moving forward. They've won 16 games. 5 of them have been walk-offs in the last inning. That ties the Baltimore Orioles for the lead in the major leagues. And I was going to literally, here we go, full standings. Now I can tell you, all right, that the Miami Marlins have walked it off 5 times, as have the Baltimore Orioles. The only difference is the Orioles are 29-15, a game and a half behind the Yankees for first place in the American League East, whereas the Marlins, who have walked it off the same number of times, yeah, they are 16-33 with the second worst record in baseball, third worst behind the White Sox, who have 14 wins, and the Rockies, who have 15. So the Marlins' recent hot streak, winning 6 of 8, has kept them out of that basement at least. And you got Trevor Rogers going tomorrow, and the last thing I'm going to do on this show before I walk it off, you see what I just did there, is talk to you about Rogers taking on Robert Gasser and the Brewers. Gasser's 2-0 with an ERA of under 1. It's 0.82. He struck out 6 and walked 1, giving up 3 hits in 11 innings. And Rogers, meanwhile, his ERA is 5.79. He's 1-6. He was brilliant last time out, pulling strings with the changeup and the breaking balls. He was terrific. He had control. He wasn't walking people. I mean, he has 19 walks on the year. He's given up the long ball, 5 home runs allowed this year, an average of pretty much 1 per start. It just has in 42 innings, 55 hits. He just was not good. But those last couple of times you started seeing some things get a little bit better for him. He was fantastic his last time out. And you're wondering what Rogers can do to replicate that. He was really, and you know what I mean? Dude, he's 26 years old. And he got killed before that. And he was great against the Tigers. 5 innings, no runs, only 3 hits. Got a little bit of help from the Tigers. They were chasing some pitches. He had 6 strikeouts, had the nasty action going late on those pitches. Before that, he got crushed by the Phillies. Before that, he got crushed by the A's for 8 earned runs. Phillies got 5 off him. The Braves got 5 runs off him. Oh, man. Yeah, even the Nationals got 3 earned runs off him in 4 innings. 5 innings. So it was really the Detroit Tigers. He stymied them. He had everything working. The late action on his pitches is key. How much does it break? How late in that arrival to home plate does that ball move? How quickly does it move, and how much does it move? That's going to determine the success or failure of Rogers tomorrow. Well, I hope you enjoyed this as much as we did, Marlins fans. 3-2 the score. They walk it off in 10 innings. They win for the 6th time in 8 games. Open up this series against the Brewers in the right way. I wish they'd do it earlier in these games, not scoring before the 7th, but another extra innings win for the Marlins, another walk-off. Lately, they've been the cardiac fish. That's all there is, Fish fans. There is no more. Love you, Mad Dog. My name's Jim Grieshaber. Call me Grease. You're Locked On Marlins postcast. We'll be back tomorrow. First pitch is at 6:40 Eastern. Trevor Rogers, Robert Gasser, the Fish, and the Brew Crew. And we will be on right after with your Locked On Marlins postcast with me, Jim Grieshaber. Call me Grease. Keep your game tight and your mind right. Fish fans, we are out.